right, so I figured that I'd make a quick little video, given that there's a lot of information that has been kind of filtering in through the weekend. Let me see if I can fix this. Trying to get rid of some of the, trying to get this balance as best as I can. But yes, we have, a lot of news going on between the earthquake in New York City and I guess our fellow New Yorkers being extremely spoiled and not knowing that earthquakes do shake the earth and can be quite fun. However, if you are not used to them, it's going to be one of those things where you might get really, really, really scared. So I'm from California, San Francisco, no less. So whenever we have an earthquake, if it's under five, I kind of don't wake up much. So I don't know. We're kind of used to them. Anything above five, um, we wake up the kids and we try to grab our belongings and kind of get ready, for like an aftershock that's stronger or see if it gets any stronger. In which case, I think we would definitely kind of go about and hit, um, the emergency button. But until it doesn't get that hard, we're pretty much going to stay kind of still. But, to all my fellow New Yorkers that just experienced the earthquake, um, I'm sorry. I know you guys got scared, but I assure you, it gets easier the more you feel them. And as someone who lives in San Francisco and experiences them quite often, it's one of those things where you kind of get used to them, and at some point you kind of feel out just kind of what a strong one is. And anything below five, I think you're good. Once it starts getting to like 5.5s and above, that's kind of where your antennas kind of have to go up a bit, and you have to kind of assess the situation and kind of see where you live and make a plan. But I have a plan with my family. If something's above 5.5, we hit the panic button. We get the kids ready, and we know what to do. So that's kind of my 2 cents as far as that. But that's just one thing going on as far as the news that we've received, in the last few days. Right now, we have an Iran, issue going on. I think Chuck Schumer just went on TV and kind of was going on about, how we're going to handle that issue. We have the Israel, issue going on in the Middle East. We still have Ukraine. Um, there's a lot of things that are going on. I think that the job numbers just came in on Friday. They were kind of hot, and so it's something that we kind of knew. We knew that the market is going to be higher for longer. I mean, interest rates, right? Which means that the market is pretty much going to have volatility. It's not going to take off anytime soon. I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm sticking to saying that the first 6 months of the year are going to be a little painful, but I think July we start mending, and then we'll start kind of seeing an upwards trend. Right now, everything is trending upwards, except a few um, companies that are kind of all over the place, but they are trending upwards. Nvidia being one of them. But it's usually those mega behemoths that are basically, you want to call them too big to fail. I don't know, but it's just they kind of have carried the market to some extent, right? And so I think that it's there's a lot of coattails um, as far as that, and I think that's kind of why we've seen the market be where it is and kind of have a more optimistic feel. But we're gonna hit a few bumps. Until July. I don't see us recovering. even August. But I really do think in July we're gonna kind of start seeing a little recovery. I don't think we're gonna get a rate cut. I just don't. I'm trading my securities as if we're not, because quite honestly, I'm an option seller, right? And that's what I do, and what I recommend to the people that are looking, at this channel right now is, you know what we're doing. You know where the stocks are at. I guess we may want it to be higher. We may want our specific companies to be worth more, but we can't force it. We are where we are, right? And in which case, I sell covered calls, up to the next strike zone, and try to get, a nice chunk of change. If we do go forward, and hit a nice little uptick, in the next few weeks, that's great. You can always roll over, So I'm gonna start with one company that I like, as far as our Savage 10. I'm gonna start with Rivian. You guys know that I like Rivian. I'm a believer in the company. As a matter of fact, the family and I took a nice vacation for a week to the Tahoe, Reno area, and we saw a few Rivians while we were up there. We saw the SUVs and the trucks, and I can only tell you what I already told you, which is I have the same feeling when it comes to Rivian that I got when I started seeing Teslas in the San Francisco Bay. I would see them sporadically here and there, but every day I would see one or two or three in the highway, sometimes parking somewhere, and I would just tell my wife, those are some cool cars, nice little coupe. At the time, we kind of had started our family, and so it didn't make sense for us to get a coupe, but we like Rivian. We have a family and we're looking to upgrade. We have a nice SUV right now that has treated us very well since 2012, but it's time that we start thinking about moving, because it's going to be 150,000 miles that is going to hit in the next year. And it's treated us really well. We've taken care of it, but our family keeps getting bigger. And so, our SUV just got really small really fast, because we now travel with luggage, right? And I love the Rivian because where the motor it would be if it was a gas car, right? It's up front. So like the you open that door, that front door, or the hood, and you see that it's got this huge space where you can put luggage. Now remember, we still have space in the back, of the SUV, so you could get like 7, 8 pieces of luggage easily inside a Rivian. In addition to the 6 people that would be traveling with you anyways. So that's a lot of space. And if anybody buys an SUV, it's because of space, right? And so I love the fact that you can take the radio with you, the speakers at least, right? It has a beautiful big screen on it that can very much turn into like a TV, a computer. You can see all these cameras. It's a wonderful car. And in addition to me already having a very positive outlook on the car, we bumped into someone who was parked right next to us who had a Rivian, and I got into a conversation with this guy. And I asked him, what is it that you like about the Rivian? Because I really am looking forward to trading my SUV, for a Rivian. And he said he absolutely loves it. And he said he has a family, and he goes from Tahoe to LA at least once a month or once every 2 months. He only stops there once. The only caveat is that you have to make a plan, right? You have to kind of see what the route is that you're gonna take, and where there would be a charging station. And these cars, they have really big batteries, especially the SUV that I'm looking at, which is the Rivian one, right? The R1. And it has like a really, it's called a super pack, right? So it's a really big battery. It takes 40 minutes to charge, but it gives you I think 400 miles or 430 to 40 miles per charge, which is quite a bit. If you were to kind of take the equation of how much you pay, for a full tank of gas, at least me, right? I pay around $90 to $100 for a full tank of gas for an SUV, my SUV. I would only pay $40 to charge my Rivian for 40 minutes. We stopped all the time because our kids have to eat, they have to use the restroom, we have to use the restroom, right? So halfway through our trips or before then, we just stop somewhere, we grab a bite to eat, there goes 45 minutes, there goes an hour. So we would plan ahead and say, hey, we're taking a trip somewhere, we're going to stop right here, right? We're going to charge for 45 minutes, we're going to change our little one, um, we're going to grab a bite to eat, and then we're going to go on our way with a full charge. Easy peasy. So that's why I like Rivian. Right now it's $10.10. I did tell you we're going to trade sideways, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago with Rivian, and boom, that's where we are. I think we were 1080 at a point to 1070 during that time. If it goes up 50 cents or 60 cents, it's not a big deal. That's kind of like, the everyday volatility. But right now, um, some more sideways trading. If anything, I see consolidation at this point. Very strong resistance and support at 10. Believe it or not. So I think kind of 1080, 1075 is resistance. Supports at 10, 10, 10. Right, and right now it's just consolidating. So if you have an extra $1,000, $2,000, I say, hey man, get yourself 100, 200 shares and play the game, because right now you can sell 1250s, 1250 covered calls for July, and try to get yourself 125 to 150 bucks. Put a nice little stink bid out there, and try to get 150 bucks to sell your Rivian at 1250 in July 19th, right? Let's see what we got here. No wrench. No wrench, lurker. I told you already, man. I fly solo, baby. That's just the way I do. But I do appreciate you being so fucking cool, man. I really appreciate you, kind of putting the word out there and telling people as I'm going live. I really do appreciate that. What's up, Beach Boy? What's going on, brother? Hey, man, I hope things are good over there in Israel. I know shit is crazy, but, my thoughts and prayers with you, brother. I always have a very good outlook on, I think, how things are going to turn out. I think people are going to hold these dummies accountable, and I think you guys are, kind of seeing, the fruit of your strikes. What's up, Alex? How you doing, brother? Let's see here, Uncle Primo. Big batteries rule. Yes, they do, man. Big batteries are important. Like, can I lie? Yeah, man. I just, I really like the Rivian. It's $80,000 right now. I'm gonna wait maybe for the next generation of batteries to come out. I'm trying to get to 500 miles per charge. If I can get to 500 miles per charge, man, that's a game changer. Because we drive to Tahoe all the time. My family really likes it. The kids really love it. They went sledding, man. They had a great time. We kind of stopped halfway, up when we were in between like Reno and Tahoe, and we had the kids go out into like this area where it's so there's like some skiing resorts in the area, but they're not open right now. And so the kids went there. They went and they sledded. They had a blast. They were building snowmans. It was kind of cool, man. Even my wife got in on the action. My kids hit me in the face with a few snowballs, which was kind of cruel, quite honestly. But they had fun. Let's see here. Thanks, dude. Yeah, of course. Um, I'm a Fenders guy. Batteries are Fenders. I like batteries, man. I like batteries. Rivian, like I said, you could sell a cash secure put. Sell yourself a June, July cash secure put. $10 cash secure put, and ask for like at 125 to 150. And get yourself 10 to 15% for waiting. A couple of months. I really like Rivian though. At this point, I honestly just think you should just buy the damn stock. I do have a very good um, I have a very good a feel when it comes to what it's doing. I have a positive outlook. I like the company, man. I like the stock. Um, just kill them with covered calls at this point. You guys know, just kill them with covered calls. Um, look at what the company's doing. They are burning through cash right now, but that's one of the things when it comes to an expanding company, right? Tesla burned through cash like nobody, but they were expanding. They were getting their infrastructure in place, and that's one of the things that I think Rivian has done fairly well is that they don't have to build an infrastructure. They actually could piggyback off of Tesla, and that's one of the great things that they're doing. You can now use um, the Tesla infrastructure and connect to your car, and I think you pay a small premium of like 1% to pay, at Tesla. But I mean that's something between Rivian and Tesla. You have your car, you can use their charge. It takes 30 to 40 minutes to charge a super pack. And I think that's a game changer for me because now you don't have to just wait for Rivian to get their infrastructure in place. You can piggyback off a charge point. You can piggyback. I think Lucid is doing the same thing, and you can just hop on Tesla and ride the wave, man. I really like it, and I'm gonna keep buying more stock. I wish I had a lot more money so that I could just buy another 1,000, 2,000 shares of Rivian and sell some 1250s for July. Take in 15% and wait and then roll, or get taken out, quite honestly, and then um, buy some more, or just sell some cash secure puts and get assigned and just play the wheel. I really like Rivian though. I think it's going to be $100 stock in the next 5 years, and it's just a matter of time. The interest rates right now are kind of high. I think once interest rates get back to like 3, percent, 3.5, I think Rivian's definitely going to take some shots, and we're going to be at a better place. The next company I like to talk about, one of the Savage 10, is Palantir. Palantir is one of those companies. Look, I really like C3.ai, right? And I honestly believe that it's a much better company than Palantir. But that does not mean that Palantir is not a great company. Palantir is a very well ran company. Their CEO is exemplary, right? They have a very good idea who they are. They know where they want to go. They know exactly what they need to do to get there, and it's being shorted. It's being shorted a bit, but I think it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Again, interest rates are high, but they're already profitable. They're profitable and they're just expanding. So I like it. I think it's trending upwards. Some people may say it's trending sideways or downwards, but I see upwards movement, man. I like covered calls at this point. I think 3 or 4 weeks ago I made a video where I told you guys that we would probably see 22s, 21s, and that's where we are. We are at 22.96. I think we have some more room to go down, but I would not blame you if you wanted to sell some $22 cash secure puts at this point, and try to get assigned maybe in June, July. It's a beautiful time for covered calls. I think that Wall Street is saying hold, right? But when they ever gonna sell? I mean, when are they ever gonna say sell? You know, I think that at this point you just accrue as much Palantir as you can. I think that I'm just gonna keep buying, right? Selling cash secure puts and kind of hoping to get assigned. I'm gonna sell some 20s, some 21s. There is a little weakness here and there on the stock, but it's a market issue, right? It's one of those it's one of those stocks that I think a lot of people bought into because of hype, and they didn't do their due diligence, and they bought at 27, 28. They went down, and they freaked out. They came back in just now in the 24, 25 land because it got to 24, 25, and they expected it to run to 30 again. And now we've seen kind of like, a pullback, but that's normal, right? We're seeing just a regular pullback on a very good company, and it's something that it's kind of a market wide thing. It's not a company issue. It's just a market thing that's going on. It's a market issue. It's like everything has sold off, and I think that just people have gotten margin called, and they're trying to sell so that they can cover, even on companies like Palantir. They've made some money. They're up 20, 30, 40, 50%, and instead of waiting out, another recovery to 25 to 30, they're just taking the money right now, plugging it into where they're short, and kind of reassessing. I do like $20 cash secure puts. Ask for $2. Say ask. Just ask for $2 for that $20 cash secure put for July, for June. You don't know if it's gonna hit. We may have a day where shit hits the fan, and then next thing you know, boom, it sells off 10%. It doesn't take that much to sell off 10% for security, right? And then once you get hit, then there you goes your cash secure put. Boom, you get 10% to go to June, July. Let's say for whatever reasons we're at 19.50 or $19 in June, July. Well, you get put these shares, you already got $2. You're already up ahead. Next thing you know, once you see a little recovery, sell some 22.50s for October. Try to get $2, $3. That's how you play the game, right? Eventually, it's gonna start recovering. It has to. The market is always uptrending, right? Like, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. But if you look at, a zoomed out chart, you see that the market has always gone this way, right? Kind of this in this line. And so that's why when people get freaked out and start saying, oh my God, we're crashing, like, you don't know what a fucking crash is. You know what I mean? Like, we may have a pullback, you know, we may have a little correction, but if you don't see something tanking 30%, that's it's just not a crash. So like you need to figure out if you're in a security because you're an investor, or are you somebody that's just a day trader. I am an investor, and that's exactly what I preach to the people that are watching. What is it? Puts sell calls and collect lots of premium. Yeah, premium of the option was cracking. Yeah, man, I agree. I agree. You just you get a sign on your cash secure puts, sell covered calls, and then just play the game. You're always going to be up, no matter what. Whether it's 20%, 15, 10%, and then you kind of take two steps back to go three forward, you're ahead. That's the whole name of the game, right? Um, Crackhead, say crackhead. I mean, what's up, Bernie? Yeah, buddy. Hey, I got your call, man. I was actually I was coaching my daughter. So she has her own coach for a team that she plays on Saturdays with, right? But every other Sunday, I take her and a couple of her buddies from the last team she was in the club that she's in now, and they just do some drills. They play a little bit of they do a couple of scrimmages, right? So that they can just move and get better. So you caught me at a point when they were running drills, And so I couldn't really talk to you, brother. But like you're here now, so ask away, bro. And I'll probably call you in a bit once I'm done with this. Let's see here. Beach Boy was up. The Pile Dancer is here. We'll talk here. Yeah, man. I try. I try. I'm not perfect. I have my moments, man. I'm very rigid. I'm stern, and my kids think I'm mean. But it's like I grew up in the hood. I'm straight. I grew up in the straight ghetto, man. So like I know how horrible life can be. I know how ugly society can be. So I just try to teach them right, and I try to teach them to be decent human beings. And I'm very hard on them because I tell them that they have no fucking idea just how bad it can be. My kids, they're suburban kids, man. They're suburban kids, and so it's a trip because I have a couple of friends that live in the area, right? And they grew up in San Francisco, in the area where I grew up, and it's a trip because these kids are super soft, and God bless their hearts. I mean, that's exactly what I strive for. It's I tried so that they don't go through the same stuff I went through, and I'm trying to teach them, to not be like I was when I was their age. They are really good kids, and I am just trying to make sure that one, they're respectable, right, and that they respect people, and two, that they work hard, and that they know that I'm the one that has the money, right? Like I have money, Daddy's because my kids are always saying, Daddy, get me this. And I'm like, where you gonna get the money from, bro? And they're like, well, you, Daddy, and I'm like, well, I have money. I'm like, where's your money? And I hate the fact that they know they have piggy banks because they can just go, oh, well, I'm just going to get the $20 from my piggy bank, Dad. Because I taught them to save. So it's like, I got nothing, right? I got nothing. But my daughter, she, once in a while, I tell her, if you really want these shoes or you really want to, spend $100 on something, you need a lemonade stand. And she really does get out there and she'll make, well, I will help her make a lemonade, and then she'll get her little sign, and she'll go out there, and she'll just she'll sell lemonade, and people really will stop and give her $5, $4 for a glass of fucking lemonade. She makes sure she knows how to read the temperature, so any day that is 90 or above, she's bothering me for a lemonade stand. So she's very wily, man. And I like that she's like that. She also knows that in order for her to get something, she needs to work for it. And I'm also teaching her about covered calls. She bought her shares of Disney already. She knows, man. When I was in Hawaii, I was talking to some adults, my brother-in-law's friends, right? They're ex-Marines or ex-Navy SEALs, and they're just over there asking me about covered calls and investing, and I'm just telling them in going down, like the list, and just the same thing that I tell people, right? Just start with one covered call and work your way up. Try to use that premium to buy more shares, and they couldn't get it, a couple of them. So I stopped my daughter and I said, "Hey, Kyra, come here." She's like, "Yeah, Daddy." I'm like, Kyra, what do we do if we buy some companies? She's like, sell a contract, Daddy. If we have 100 shares, we sell a contract. And that's all she needed to say. And then the adults were dumbfounded because they were like, this she was 8 then. This 8-year-old kid gets it. So she gets it. And I'm very proud of her for that. But I also want her to have other skills, you know. So being an athlete was really big for me because it helped me get out of where I was and gave me a scholarship to go Division 1 and play a sport that I really loved. And I want her to find that passion, but to know that that's not the only thing that there is out there. I also want her to know about investing and how to best equip herself for later on. She doesn't have to depend on anyone. And so being a female to me, I think she's going to have a lot of things against her as it is. And although I don't ever want her to play the victim role, I do want to equip her with the skill set, that she doesn't need anyone, right? Like she would have all this knowledge and she can make money with her brain, and be able to have a good life, without sacrificing her body as much. Anyhow, I'm deviating, man. So Palantir, I like Palantir. Let's get back to Palantir. 2296 is where we are. I don't see us really going to 25 anytime soon, unless there's a catalyst, right? And I think, for the time being, we're downtrending a bit. So if we see 21, don't be alarmed. I would love to see 20s, so then I can sell some 20 cash secure puts for like July or August and try to get $2-3 per, and then hopefully I'll get assigned, and then start, if we go to 20s in July, and I get assigned, then I'm gonna sell some 2250s for October, and then start my wheel, there. The next one, Tesla. Yes, Tesla. So a couple of weeks back, I think we were in the 170s or something, and I said we're downtrending. I got a couple of emails saying, what are you talking about? We just hit 160 and we just bounced right up in the 70s. We're going to 200, and I said, well, let's see us go through 180 first, right? And we did it. It couldn't even hold, the 170s. So now we're at 164. I see us touching 150 again. I see us touching with the 150s, and I hope we do touch the 150s, because if so, I'm gonna probably, with the 170s that I have my cash secure puts, I'm going to move them from 2025 to 2026 155s, and bring in more premium, and bring in, more of the collateral that I have, so that I can in turn buy some more AI, some more SoFi, some more Unity, because I think those are the ones that really, I'm very bullish on. It's there's kind of a systemic, downtrend right now. The market as a whole is just downtrending, but I just said, I just do see that a lot of people got margin called, and it's just, recalibrations at this point, to start, the second quarter. And so, anyways, I see, Palantir trading sideways. And when I say sideways, I don't mean it stays in the 22 area and just that's it. I say sideways in terms of like it may go to 23, 24, come back to 23, 22. They go back up 24 and back to 22, 21. Kind of like that's what I mean sideways, right? In the long run, right? If you zoom out, it'll just go upwards, kind of like this. That's the way that I see it going, but it'll take time, right? And so, everyone, is impatient in the market, and that's what makes us different, because we love people that are impatient. As a matter of fact, that's what we want, so that we can transfer their wealth into our pockets, right? Mr. Premium of the option is an absolute fucking savage when it comes to that, because he will sell a fucking $5 covered call and buy it back for 5 cents. Woo! I mean, swear to God, man, that guy has patience, but it pays. Time is money, baby, and he capitalizes on it. And that's what we all need to strive for, is to have that type of patience, to be able to fold your arms, and even if you're down 20, 40%, 50%, nothing has happened. You can always roll. You can always roll, or you could do nothing and let the market come to you, right? As Uncle Bruce says, let it come to you. Let the stock come to you. And so that's what we have to exercise, is more patience. What do we got here? Teach her it's like, life skill. Yes, sir. You already know. Beach Boy, respect, savage. Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Look at Nicola, or the fans of this one. Wish we had some in Arizona. Nicola, are you talking about the car company, the truck, the semi? No, stay away. Stay away, brother. I don't like it. Um, I think 2 or 3 years ago I was looking at it, and if it's the one that I think, they look at 2 or 3 years ago when they had some type of demo, and they had like one of those trucks going down some slope, and the CEO actually he played a fast one on everybody, man. There was no battery in that truck. He was using he was using gravity as a fucking as his gas, right? Because there was a slope. The car was just using gravity. So I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I just I like Rivian, bro. I like Rivian. I like Lucid. I know they're being beat up a lot, but I'm so bullish on Rivian, because I like the truck. I like they're already using an infrastructure that is already there. Um, they are heavily shorted right now, and it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I'm gonna buy a Rivian. Just like you had, such a strong feelings when it came to the Cybertruck, which I personally think is an ugly fucking car. It doesn't take away from the fact that it's a nice car for whoever wants to have it, right? And it is a truck. And if you like it, I mean, nobody's gonna tell you what to do with your money, right? So that's the same way I feel about a Rivian. I'm just waiting for the next generation so that I can get 500 miles per charge, right? For the super pack that they have, and I could get it for 70,000 or 60,000 instead of 90,000. I'm wise with my money. I like to be frugal, because it's just I like to get more bang for my buck, right? I have 3 kids, and so the way that I see it is like if I'm paying all this money for this, that's taken away from this, right? And so I need to think ahead, in terms of like how that's going to affect not just me but my family, and it's worked out great for me, man. However, if you want to be more cavalier, with your finances, and buy stuff where it is, I think there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great car. If I had the money to spare, I would buy a Rivian right now. you know. But we still have the SUV we have. It's a really good truck, and we beat it up, but it's there and it's working. And then, we had it appraised, and it's still very expensive. It's a Toyota, so it's well made. We have never had any accidents. Knock on wood, and we've never had any issues with it. I do I'm a do-it-yourself guy, so like I change the light bulbs. I change like the dumb shit that you can change. Like I'm not gonna go into the motor and play mechanic because that's stupid. But if I have to like change a wheel, the wipers, the little lights that burn off, it's just the I don't know what they're called. Those little hydraulics, to close and open the back windows or doors, stuff like that. I have no problem doing that. 20K via Tesla. Yeah, see, I'm not there yet. I know you got your Cybertruck for free, and I think that's great. But I don't have nearly that many shares of Rivian just yet. But I'm trying to get there, and I think I said it, live before. It's if I can get 5,000 Rivian shares, and it gets to like $30-$40, and I sell some $20, some 50s, and I'm able to get I don't know, $10, $6 to $10 for every share, and I can get I don't know, 40,000-50,000 in premium, and then I would take that premium and buy a Rivian. I so would do that. So like for sure. All right, so Palantir, that's where we're at. Give them nothing, man. Give them nothing. Just go in, buy some Palantir. Where it is. I have no problem buying it where it is. You could also do some 21 cash secure puts, some 22 cash secure puts out to July. and try to get a sign, but get something for it, right? Try to get 10%, 15%. Why not? I like it. Tesla downtrending. Um, we're gonna see 150s. If we see the 150s, sell a $150 cash secure put, for like 6 months out, 6, 7 months out. Try to get a fat premium, and then hope to get a sign. Because if it goes to 125, right, and let's say you sold a 150 for 15, $20, you're there. And once you get a sign, you wait for a nice little recovery to the 140s. You sell 150s for 6 months out, and you get another $20, $30 in. What the fuck is wrong with that? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So just kill them with the cash secure puts. Try to get a sign and then sell some covered calls. So who's going to the meeting? You know what? Oh man, I haven't even talked to Uncle Bruce about this. So my daughter's coach, because Mr. Premium of the option just asked who's going to the meet and greet here in California for Dr. Bruce or Uncle Bruce. I was going to go. Matter of fact, I had just bought my tickets with some points that I had. I was going to go with United, get in at like a 10 a.m. and I was going to come back like at 7 p.m. But my daughter's coach just asked me yesterday, as a matter of fact, if I can coach her team next Saturday, because he's had some issues, personal issues going, and I said yes, because there's no other parents that I think are as involved, and I know a little bit about soccer, and I go to a lot of the practices. I know that they're gonna have the plays that they're gonna run, the two plays that they're gonna run. I know them. And so it would be great to. My daughter really like got happy when I told her I would be coaching her too. And so I just I can't say no, man. So I'm not gonna make it this, which man, I was so on him for that too, because I was like, hey man, you have to have a meet and greet. You're in California, weather is nice. Let's get it, man. Let's make it happen. And now I can't make it, which I feel bad. But what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? I can't say no to coaching my daughter. I can't say no, man. Anyways, Tesla, long way away from $300 and that 52-week high, right? So cash secure puts, man. The 150s look very good to me. I mean, this is not financial advice, obviously. That's just everything I say is based on what I'm going to do or what I would do. So I'm basically just letting you guys know kind of how to play this, right? So I would be pouncing on the 150s. Or you could just buy it, some stink bids at 149, 148, and then hope it gets there. And then once your stink bid hits, sell 160s for 3 months out, bring fat premiums. You can do that too. So it depends on what your flavor is, right? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to just make premium money, and then if you get assigned, then go that route? You can do that too. So there's so many different ways to play it, right? But I like Tesla in the 150s. The next one, I think I'm going to talk about AI, right? C3.ai, ticker is AI. It's $25 basically, right? So I did tell you guys, it wasn't weak. It was we had weakness following the stock. I think a few weeks back. Still there. I'm still thinking that we are kind of in that spot where it's trying to make up its mind. There is divergence in the stock, right? Because the volume is low, and the price is just kind of there, right? And then it moves up a bit, and then it kind of comes back down. So like it's not really like going down, and the volume is down. I mean, you could make a case and say that it's kind of following the stock, which would be good because you want the stock to follow volume, right? So that it creates no divergence. I just don't see it yet. I love the stock. Don't get me wrong. Anybody that knows me knows that I absolutely love C3.ai. And I have no problem buying it here. Matter of fact, I got hit on some stink bids for a 2095, 24.95. And I loved it because I can get more shares, right? Um, where are we going? I see us maybe hitting a nice little bump, just because it's shorted heavily, and some things may adjust, right? 33 to 35% short on the such a low float, and that's why I've sold covered calls uh, down to like January 2025, and I took in $8, $7. I'm selling 30s, right? And I tried to take in $6, $7. You can sell 35s if you feel that it's going to get to that. Sell 35s for $5. That's how high the interest rate, the IV is, right? So I like it, man. I think that you can sell some $25 cash secure puts for July and try to get $3 or $4. Nothing wrong with that. That's how high it's been. That's how much it's been shorted. The volatility is so high, and so I like it. I would not sell all my shares as far as a covered call goes. Let's say so. Let me explain. If I have 5,000 AI shares, I would sell 40 covered calls, and I would keep 1,000 because there's that possibility that it's a short squeeze. There's that short squeeze possibility because it's heavily shorted, and AI is not gonna fucking play because of Nvidia. People know that AI is an artificial intelligence play, right? It's in the fucking name. So if it goes to 30, it's not stopping to 40. And if it goes to 40, holy shit, shorters have to cover. They have to. So it's going to take them 4 or 5 days to cover. And if it happens on a Friday and they spend all weekend talking about the fucking short interest and we hit some GME type of shit, okay. Nothing's going to be GME, right? But that GME type of marketing, right? That euphoria, that FOMO, you can very well fucking expect on Monday for it to run to 50. And if it runs to 50, oh my God. Anyways, when I would sell. I would sell those 1,000 shares that I'm holding at $50, $60. It may get to 670, 80. I don't know, but I my average is like 14, 15. Selling at 60, I've quadrupled my money. I am totally okay with that, right? So I just like it. I just like it, and I'm selling covered calls until the cows come home, and I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing, and I've been doing it for 3 years. I started talking in the Uncle Bruce channel about C3.ai before anybody, and that's how people got to know it, and then they started selling covered calls on it, and then we fucking went from 10 to 24, and they went fucking crazy, and the premiums were so amazing. They still are, right? And so I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing for 3 years, which is I'm just gonna keep selling covered calls $3, $4 out, 2, 3 months down the line, bring in $3, $4 of premium, buying back low and then selling them again, and back and forth. I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing with C3.ai. Is there a little weakness in the stock? There's weakness in every stock right now, except the Magnificent Seven. But even Nvidia was $1,000, and I was like 800. So it's one of those things that is systemic. It's not something that's like one specific company is doing something terrible and like it just went down. It's just all over. Um, let's see here. Uh, Short interest at 34%. It's a low float. The float is very low in AI. So that's one of the things that I look at also when I'm selling a covered call is I wake up and the first thing I do is I'm like, where's the float? What is the margin of float that we have trading today? Because that gives me a good idea on where to go with my stink bids, right? because at 6:30 we open, and then from 6:30 to 7 it's all fucking hell breaking loose, and then it kind of finds its footing at 7 ish, and at 8 9 p.m. or a.m. we kind of have a better idea how things are gonna go, right? And so that's when you can just put in a stink bid, or you can just put in a stink bid before market opens, and if it hits, it hits. There's nothing wrong with that either. I've done it, and I've definitely capitalized on that. But I've also gotten my ass kicked, because I put in a stink bid for 50% more. It triggered. Next thing you know, it's up 100%. So like then I had to play catch up, which is fine because I rolled over, right? But it happens, you know. It's a powder keg, man. It definitely is a powder keg, and I say that it's never disappointed me. It's never disappointed me. AI, and my motto is AI is doing AI things. So I say, don't try to fucking time it. Don't try to tame it. You won't. You won't. Just go along for the ride. Buy low, sell high. Go along for the ride. Get your money, man. No wrench. No wrench, lurker. I told you already, bro. No wrench. All right, here we go. Keep filling your pockets. Wait for pops. Accumulate anyway between 25, 24, 23. Oh my God, just accumulate. Sell some 2250s. If it gets to 23, sell some 2250 cash secure puts for January. Try to get $7. Try to get $8. Why not? Get your money. Get your money. All right, here we go. Unity. That's my baby. That's another one of my babies. Downtrending as well, right? But it's got nothing to do with the company itself. Matter of fact, I think that they're saving a shitload of money now because they I think they laid off another 400 people. I want to say they're saving a lot of money then. Now we all know that you cannot get bigger by getting smaller, right? That's just a fact. But you do have to realize that um, a lot of those jobs that people lost, AI is taking over. So how many of those jobs are going to be now performed by AI, right? That's money they're saving. So they're going to keep doing what they're doing. There has been no sacrifice as far as the amount of work that is being put out. If anything, it's going to be 24 hours a day now that AI is going to take over that job. And if anything, they're going to start making a ridiculous profit. I like it. I like where it is. $25 cash secure puts for June. Ask for 10%. You ask for 250. It's at $25. And so get your money. Get your money. That's the best way I can put it. You can do cash secure puts, or you can buy where it is at right now and sell some 28s for July. Ask for 250, right? 10% for a couple of weeks or for a couple of months. And then in July, you can roll the 30s, or you can get taken out, do it again, or if nothing has happened, you keep the premium, you sell for 30s till October and take in another $2-3 and keep doing it. AI is a really good company. Developers love it. People that use it swear by it. And I love the high volatility aspect. But it's been trading like this for 2-3 years, right? I've been trading it for 2-3 years, and it's just doing what it's always done. They have an issue with what happened with the CEO doing something very stupid, and I think they're still paying the price for that. But that guy is gone. I think it took a PR hit. At this point, it's all about kind of staying the course, accumulating, and just putting yourself in a good position to where you can sell 20, 30 covered calls and bring in $5-6, every few months. That's what I see with Unity. I see myself, selling some 40, $50 covered calls for a couple of months and bringing in $6, $7, $8, and selling 20 covered calls, 30 covered calls. So taking in 20,000, $25,000 every few months. I like it. That's where I see it. You don't have to believe me, right? But you can just look at the numbers, look at the past, look at what it's done, look where it's going, look at what they're working on, and it's easy to see why Unity it's one of those companies that whoever's using it now, right, as a platform, will keep using it for the time in the future. In 5 to 10 years, I see it being anywhere from $50 to $100 easily. So I like it, and I'm convinced that it's a keeper. And I'm gonna, I've had it for over 2 years. I'm gonna keep trading it because it's making me money. It's an easy stock to really get to know and get a feel for. Once you are on it, you're able to see just why the premiums are so juicy, and why developers like it. If you're a developer yourself and you've used it, then you know. And that's what I see with Unity. I really like it. I'm going to keep trading it, and I advise you to, start a position if you haven't yet. Last but not least, uh, SoFi, baby, SoFi. We're trading sideways, right? I did say that SoFi was going to keep trading sideways for a bit. In the 3 4 weeks ago, the CTO sold some shares, tax purposes, yeah, but nobody knows that, right? Not most people. They just know that some high end executive got rid of his shares and they sold because they got scared. They don't know what else is going to happen. Um, we're 3 weeks away from quarter earnings. We're going to have some good numbers. Um, you know, I, SoFi is SoFi, man. We all know why we like it. We all know where it's going. It's just a matter of time. It's heavily shorted. We're at 23, 24% shorting, right? Um, Kathy Wood keeps buying, man. I don't know how else to put it. This lady is a fucking genius. She has people that she pays a lot of money that have graduated from Harvard, from Yale, from Columbia, Cornell, from Princeton. They're in the payroll. They're on the payroll, and they're doing their due diligence on SoFi, and they keep saying it's a buy. I think that some guy that just started kind of covering SoFi just said it's a buy at 10. No shit, Sherlock. It's a fucking buy at 10. It's a buy at 10, at 11, at 12. But we are where we are, right? We may want the stock to be $10, but it's 7.40. I don't know where it's gonna go. I want it to go to $10, but I do know something for sure. It is at 7.40 right now. What am I doing? I keep adding. Kathy Wood keeps buying, right? Bank of America keeps buying. Vanguard keeps fucking buying. Millions of shares. Millions of shares. Do you honestly think those outfits are in the business of fucking losing money? No, buddy. They're not in the business of losing money. That's not what they do. They make wealth. They are wealth management companies. And SoFi will make a lot of people wealthy. That's the bottom line. Whatever the fuck you hear on the right or on the left of the stock is just noise. You have to make a decision. You have to put your balls to the wall and say, either I'm getting the fuck in or I'm getting the fuck out. That's it. There is no middle ground, right? Daniel San, do or do not. No try. No try. So either buy or sell it. There is no middle ground. It's going up. Um, wherever it ends in the next 3 or 4 weeks, right? It's not taking away from the fact that the company is well ran. It's not taking away from the fact that it's still going to be shorted, right? Um, Whoever the powers that be are want it to be wherever it's at. I personally, I bought back most of my covered calls that I sold in a few weeks. I made a nice profit, right? Um, I sold some $12 covered calls, and if for whatever reasons I can't buy them back, I am okay selling my shares of SoFi for $12 because my average is $8. So I make 50% profit on a $8 investment. That is where the money is. There's nothing wrong with that. You show me what bank is going to give you 50% on any money that you put away for, 8 months. They'll laugh you out of the door, right? So Vanguard was buying at $18. Vanguard was buying at $18. There's a reason, okay? I keep accumulating, man. I bought at 18. I bought at 15. I bought at 12. I bought at 10. I fucking loaded the boat at 9 and 8. And then I fucking loaded at 5 and at 4. So I'm just like, I just wish I had more money. I wish I had more money. Because I like the stock. I like the company. I like where it's going. I like the philosophy. It's a one-stop shop. Technisys is making money. Galileo's making money, and it's just a matter of fact. I mean, there's a reason that Technisys has offices in Latin America, and there's a reason Anthony Noto said, "Let's fucking buy Technisys." That tells you all you need to know. People in Latin America, they love access to their money. Not everyone has a cell phone like here in the United States, but it's exploding. Tech is exploding in Latin America, El Salvador, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Honduras, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela, Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, Peru, Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay. All these countries, they have not hit that plateau. They're barely like a 10, 50, maybe 20% population having cell phones. Maybe 30%, like developed countries, like second world, countries, if you will, like Brazil, Argentina, Mexico. There's 40% people, population having cell phones. But the whole point is that SoFi is going to open up in Latin America. That's where I'm going with this. SoFi is going to open up in fucking East Asia and East Europe. It's going there. There's a reason why they're fucking one of their biggest investors is in Japan. There's a reason Anthony Noto meets with that guy and tells him, "I'm going to give you a fucking vote and I'm going to put you on the board." There's a reason, because he's going to Japan, okay? This is what I see. You don't have to believe me, right? But I'm just like, if you just put yourself in Anthony Noto's fucking shoes for a minute and say, if I was the fucking CEO of SoFi, a company that is a bank, it's a chartered bank, okay? Would if I have no like central bank, right? Wouldn't it make sense for me to say, hey, I want to democratize banking in Latin America? And that's a positive spin, man. You say, I want to democratize the third world. I think that the third world needs access to having a bank because, not everyone that lives in like the rural areas of like, Peru can go to the bank and take money out, and make transfers, every day or every week. They have to take a bus for 6 to 8 hours just to go and talk to someone at a bank. Wouldn't it be great if they could do it on their phone? Wouldn't it be great if you could, instead of going to the bank, to withdraw however much money, you could just do it, on your phone and then pay the cable company, pay the water bill. You know, it's just so easy. But to us in the United States, you know, as someone who travels to Latin America, right? Um, Let me tell you that there's a lot of people that have no idea that you can actually make payments online. People that still go and withdraw money from the banks physically, and then they go into, like, you know, their PG&E, if you will, right? Or their Edison, right? Company, and then they actually go into like the big building and they pay their monthly bill. You know, that's what they do. And so I would not put it past SoFi to say we're already in Technisys. Technisys is already in Latin America. Let's piggyback off of that and open up fucking branches all over Latin America. Let's go to Mexico, Argentina, Brazil. Brazil has an extremely strong economy. Okay, we get our asses in there. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. This is why I'm so bullish on SoFi, and I just don't like people thinking that I'm bearish. I'm a bear by nature because I don't like to be overly optimistic because it just ends up biting you in the ass in the long end, right? I like to take a neutral approach to things and just be a lot more um, practical in my thinking, right? And then say, hey, so yeah, these things could happen, but also these other negative things could happen, right? So you have to take everything with a grain of salt. That's what I do, and it's helped me thus far. There's so many different ways to invest, and my approach works for me. You know, idiots keep selling SoFi where it is. Idiots just keep selling where it is. I don't know who the fuck would sell at 740. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why you would sell at 720, but it happens. You know, these paper-handed CC boys and CC girls keep selling. Keep fucking selling them so I can put my stink bits at 705, at 695, at 655, and I keep buying. You know, I just keep accumulating, and that's where I'm at. It's a 5 to 10. It's a 10-year investment for me, man. I usually like to say I like to invest in a company for 5 to 10 years. SoFi is a 10-year investment for me. I don't see myself selling until 2035. That's just where I'm at, you know. And it's a triple handler, and it's just gonna be one of those things where it's time. You know, everyone wants SoFi to be somewhere else right now, but the fact of the matter is, it is where it is right now. So make the most of it, accumulate, because you're gonna fucking laugh. People are actually gonna laugh at you when you tell them you bought SoFi at 7 and it's $120, $150. People bought Nvidia at 10. People bought Nvidia at 5, at 20. You think people did? If someone was to tell you right now, you know, hey man, I just sold my Nvidia at $950, and you know, oh shit, what do you get in there? Like, yeah, I bought it for $6. I have to get. You're gonna be like, are you fucking serious? That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. But that's where we're going with SoFi. You know, I'm not saying it's gonna be an Nvidia. I'm just saying that it could go to $100, and then you can sell them. You know, you just have to have a plan. I personally, my plan, during the earnings, I'm going to see where it's at. I think we're going to hit 9. If we go to 10 and we go blow past 10, all bets are off. All bets are off, and we're going to 13. We're going to 13. If we hold 10 for a couple of days, we're going to 13. Because that's just the way it's the way it is. That's just, there's nothing stopping it from fucking going to 13. And once we're at 13, I'm going to sell the fuck out of some 15s for 2025. I could sell some 20s for 2026. Just fine. It depends on how I feel that day. Do I feel frisky? I don't know, man. Depends on what I do that day, you know. Depends on what day of the week. You know, is it a Friday? Is it a Monday? You know, am I going to have a couple of drinks? I don't know, man. Like, how do I feel? I do know one thing. I'm going to make money. I'm going to make a couple of dollars. And I think that you guys join me. If SoFi hits, you know, $10, $11, we're not stopping till 13. And That's when you can start getting happy. That's when you can say shit, you know. But have a plan. My best advice is have a plan. I have a plan, you know. And I just told you my plan. Is that we go to 10 ish. I'm gonna start licking my chops and looking at the options chain and see, you know, where I'm okay selling SoFi. You guys already know I'm okay selling it at 12. I may sell some 12s for 2025. Just take a big chunk, a bigger chunk, you know, than like the 85 that I took. I'll take 285, 385. You know, I'm okay with that. I'll sell 150 covered calls for 2025 or 2020. I don't know. We'll see. But the fact of the matter is that it's 740 now, and it's fallen 6 of the last 10 trading days. Okay, that's where we are with SoFi. There is a divergence because the stock is uptrending as far as the price, but the volume is low. So look for that. Okay, that's a divergence. Anytime there's a divergence, you have to kind of keep your head on a swivel, right? And kind of look, you know, to the sides, because it could be one of those things where you can fall really fast, really quickly. You can go from like 760 to 690 in a day, you know, but you can also go from like 750 to 820, you know. So it's one of those things that you just got to keep an eye on it, and make a decision. You know, you do know that we have earnings coming up, but you also do know that during earnings, you know, market managers or the powers that be like to play around with the stock. So you'll see it go to like 859, you know, a week before earnings, and then next thing you know, that Monday, you know, before earnings, like 8 days prior, it just fucking tanks from 850 to like 780, and all fucking everybody starts freaking out and selling even more. So next thing you know, we go to 740, 730. What's gonna happen this time? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. If I knew what was gonna happen in the next 3 weeks, I would be talking to fucking Jamie Dimon right now, and I would be writing up my own contract, telling him to pay me a couple of $1 billion to work for him, because I know exactly what's going to happen, but I don't. So what I do is I make a plan. I say, you make a plan yourself. Sit down and write, you know, the option chain, right? See where it's at now. Look at like January 2025, right? Look at August 2024. Look at July 2024, and look at the option chain, and then look at that option chain a week later and compare those strikes, right? And see what the premiums are. And do you see a big difference? That tells you right there that now the open interest is, and the volatility is higher, right? And so a week later, do the same thing and see what the difference is, right? And then start making a plan that's based suited for you. And so that's my 2 cents. You know, I am gonna cut it short now because it's time for me to go buy my daughter some soccer cleats. Her soccer cleats started bothering her yesterday. She had a really tough game. This girl came in and tackled her kind of hard, and she put her body into the other girl, so the other girl started crying, and it got taken out. So and my daughter got a nice bruise, so we're gonna get her bigger shin guards. But she's a tough cookie, and I'm so proud of her because she came back into the game, although she was crying for a little bit. You know, she's 9 years old and she's a very strong girl, but she had a nice gash, you know, on her shin, and the shit hurt. I know it hurt because it was cold. It was at 9 in the morning. It was an early game, but she went back in, you know, and she finished the game, and she was this close to scoring a goal again. It's just sometimes the ball doesn't go in. What are you gonna do? And so that's the approach that I say take with SoFi. You know, take your fucking bruises, you know, take your tackles, you know, but try to firm up, you know, and then try to bear it the best you can, and then make an assessment, you know, and then take your shot. Take your shot. Sometimes it's gonna go in, sometimes it's not. But you know one thing's for sure, you're gonna keep making money. Because if you have a plan and you're selling covered calls, guess what? You're covered. You're covered against stupidity and fucking paper-handed sissy boys selling off because the stock loses 30 cents in one day. So that's the way I see it, man. What do we got here? Premium to the option, $7 strike, cash and cure puts. Yeah, I sold some. I sold 10. You know, got a nice little premium. And it was like around $2, I think. And I like it, man. It's no, it was like 150 something, 150 something. And I like it. I may sell another $7 cash. I mean, so cash and cure puts for 2025 January. And try to get a nice little premium there. It's free money at this point to me, man, because I don't see SoFi in the sevens for many more months. I think we are going to have some really good numbers. This quarter earnings, I think we're going to blow it out of the water, quite honestly. And I think we're going to, if we see 25 cents per share in the next quarter or two, it's gonna fucking go. It's all about multipliers at that point, right? And I think that a lot of these fucking analysts are going to have to go into their fucking bag of tricks and try to make up their mind and try to reassess where they're at, with their predictions, because I don't think SoFi is going to give them the excuse to say that it's a $3 stock. I just don't think so. It's like us wishing it was $10, right? Like a motherfucker can wish it's $10, but it's fucking $7.40. Like, yeah, a motherfucker could say it's worth $3, but it's not. It's $10, motherfucker. So, yeah, that's it. You can try to short it all you want, and you can fucking try to do your fucking friends favors so that the stock goes down because you're fucking shorting up your ass, and now you're fucking going to have to cover at 10 instead of 8 and 7. So you're losing fucking 35 to 40%, but you're going to have to, because if not, you're going to fucking have to go down to 50, 60%. And at 70, you're fucked. Because if we go to 13, all bets are off. You're fucking done. And so I say, let's keep it positive. I like SoFi, man. You guys know I like SoFi very much. Let's start accumulate. Just accumulate. I don't know how else to say it. Fucking go sell some plasma. Take out a loan. I don't know, man. I just, what do I know? I just pay my taxes, so I'm kind of happy about that because I took out the new Wells Fargo credit card, the Journey card, and I got, I had to make a $4,000 minimum spend, and I used that card with the Marriott Chase card. So I use those two cards to pay pay taxes, which I'm one of the few people that actually loves paying taxes because I get something out of it. So use those two credit cards to pay off taxes, and I ended up getting 60,000 points from the Wells Fargo card, and I get 5 free nights at Marriott's for in worldwide, up to 60,000 points for a night stay. So it's 5 nights for free, 5 free night certificates up to 60,000 points. And the great thing is that I can actually add up to 15,000 points to any of those certificates or all of them, and stay at like a Ritz Carlton. They are like around between 60 to 70,000 points per night to stay at like the Half Moon Bay Ritz Carlton. I think the Beverly Hills Ritz Carlton. There's the New York City Ritz, right? There's a San Francisco Ritz. I don't really stay there because I'm from San Francisco, but like there's so many Ritz Carltons that are really really nice, and staying for free. Like you can't fucking beat it. The great thing is that because I have status with Marriott, on the 5th night is free. So like if I use 4 free night certificates, my 5th night will be free. So then I used another one for 6 days. So like if we were to I don't know, New York City, which we're thinking about doing, we'll stay for 6 days and we'll stay at the Ritz, New York City. We can stay at the Ritz in Florida. We can stay at the Ritz in Denver. I don't know. You know what? That's one of those things, man, that the biggest expense is your room and board. And if your room is taken care of, You don't mind paying a little extra for other idiosyncrasies, right? So that's I'm happy about that. So as far as SoFi, man, my notes. I don't know what to tell you. That the Hurricane Lopez hasn't said, that Uncle Bruce hasn't said, that fucking Tivas hasn't said, that the stock goat hasn't said. Like it's. I mean, we're pretty bullish on it, right? But I'll tell you this: there's nothing more bullish when it comes to a fucking security than secured puts, because that tells you right there that that person that sold that fucking cash secured put, wherever the most open interest is, and at this point the most open interest is in the 7 land for SoFi. That tells you that people think that it's not going to 7, right? So there's nothing more bullish than that, which tells you what, that this stock is worth at least $8-9 at the least right now. Okay, and so if it's worth $8 to $9 right now, and we have earnings telling us it's fucking great, and we've made a ridiculous amount of money, profit, and that we are just adding way more members than expected, then guess what? Guess what's going to happen? Then we are going to have to go to 10, have to go to 11. If we go to 10, there's nothing stopping us from going to 13. If we go to 13, god damn, man, 15 is open. But it just depends. What we got here? I am a wrench by nature. No lurker, no range for you, buddy. All right, I'm buying secure puts. Way the hell out for 7s. This isn't dumb, right? I'm still below my price. No, 7s is beautiful. Fucking go to 2026. I think it's $2 or 210, 215. I don't know. Anything. Like if you get 33 to 35% back on a security for going up, 18 months, that's fucking insane. What bank is going to give you 35? And if you're using Charles Schwab and you use that ETF that gives you 5%, you're talking about 30, 35, 40%. I don't see anything wrong with that. Worst case scenario, you're getting SoFi for $4.90, $5. What's the problem with that? If they put those shares to you, if some idiot decides to put those shares to you, oh my God. Pray they're that stupid. Pray. Because then you can sell some $10 covered calls for 2025. And you're good. But no, not at all. I say, Eric, I say you're good. 7s is great. I honestly, I sold some $7 cash secure puts myself for January 25. And depending on how low we get in the next week or two, I may do some more. And after earnings, I think that we're gonna go to 9-10. I'm gonna buy them back. Easy money. That's just easy money. And so I'll take that premium and buy more AI, more Unity, more Palantir, more Roblox, more Path. I just that's how you do it. That's how your portfolio grows. Next thing you know, you're one of the birdies of the world, and you're selling 300 calls, 200 calls, laughing your ass off, and using premium money to buy like Tesla Cybertrucks. And you're like Beach Boy, right? Who goes to like the Four Seasons, in Cyprus to just chill with the family. There's nothing wrong with that. Like me, I go to Hawaii to chill once a year with the family. Thank you, covered calls. Thank you, gamblers. You're the casino, man. We just came back from Tahoe, Reno. My kids had a great time. They were sledding. They were playing, snowball fights. I went gambling, and this is the thing about being financially free, right? And taking money that it's not. It's just play money, right? Like I took a couple of $1,000 that I was like, it's premium money. Like it's not real. Like obviously it's real, but I just, if I lose it, I lose it. And I was just, playing the craps table like, on six, and eight. Instead of just taking the premium or premium, instead of taking my winnings, I would say, press my eight, press my nine, press my six, press my four. I was pressing, was combined. It was basically covering, doubling down on my bet, and it would hit. And instead of getting $12, now I get $24 every time it hits a number. Instead of getting $10 on the 9 and the 10, or the 4 and the 5, instead of getting, $10, I get $20 because I had pressed on that. It just lets you be free, and you're like, it's just money. Like, I don't care because it's just, I've already paid for this. And next thing you know, dude, I came home with like $2,000 that in winnings, in addition to what I took. So I had 4,000 and change when I came home. And this is the beauty of it. I put everything on the room, right? I gambled so much, and that when I left, there was like some noise the machine was making outside, and then the ice machine wasn't working. So I mentioned it to my host. I said, "Hey, you know what? Listen, um, the machine out there was a couple of times didn't have ice. It was broken. I really wanted some ice so that I could put it on the cooler, so that I can ice, the milk for my kid. And then it went bad. Like, if you guys could work on that for next time, that'd be great." He was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." He's like, "That's not supposed to happen." He's like, I'm sorry, you're a VIP. Um, how about this? How about I take off all the charges to your room?" And they took off all the charges to my room. Mind you, I put everything on my room. Everything. If we go in that, we have, like a meal at a restaurant in the area at the casino. They we put it on the room. If we go and the kids play in the kids area, put everything on the room. If they have snacks, we put everything on the room. Room service on the room. Tips on the room. Everything on the room, right? They comped it. And they didn't charge me any taxes, or the rooms were already comped, but they charge you taxes and fees because they have to. They didn't charge those. So for a whole week, I'm out there with the family having a blast, eating some delicious food at this casino and resort, and they comped it, and I came out with over $2,000 in winning. That's Thank you, gamblers. That's all I gotta say. I'm buying secure put. Yes, guys, like you and Uncle Bruce and the Hurricane himself are very much helping me out, dude. I mean, you know what, man? I thank you. I appreciate that because like I don't get paid for anything. Hurricane doesn't get paid for anything. I think Uncle Bruce gets the memberships, but I mean he does a lot of work and he works a lot harder than myself and the Hurricane for sure. And but it's nice to know that you're paying attention, and that if I'm helping you in any way, man, that's awesome. Because ultimately, that's why I'm doing this, so that I can give back to the knuckleheads like me out there, that have kind of like no idea, or like a very little idea on how things work, or are trying to find a better footing. So yeah, man, you're quite welcome, brother. Comp hustling at a casino is a real thing. You know what, man? They should have fixed that fucking ice machine. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that because I have to go a whole floor up. A whole floor. It's like a minute. But I am a VIP. You know what I mean? And we got my kids' grandma came along, and she had the room next to us. They comped her room too. Everything she put on her room because they were next to each other. So I was telling them, the rooms were next to each other. But this is the thing. This is the thing. Whenever we do go, I'll tell you this right now. My tips are really great. Every time we call for somebody to come and freshen up the room, we leave $10 or $20 on the bed, on each bed, right? So they can come in and clean. So we do know that the people that do make the casinos go around is the workers, and we tip very well. Every time that the service lady goes around with the drinks, I give her two chips, two $1 chips, for the drinks. Every time someone assists us, in at a restaurant or one of the delis, we leave a $5 tip at least, if not 10. We go to a restaurant, we leave at least 15, 20%. So that's we do that. So those people really do end up seeing a lot of that money, for sure. So that's it's I like that. That's the feeling that I like. I also like coming home with like over $2,000 in winnings, because as soon as we got home, I went to the bank and I deposited that money. Now I have $2,000, okay, that are just waiting for tomorrow. And what am I gonna do with $2,000? Well, I'm gonna sell three cash secure puts on SoFi. Thank you very much. I'm gonna do some $7 cover calls for 2026. Try to get me 250, and then take that premium, which is like $700, $600, and then I'm gonna buy SoFi with that premium, and those shares are done. They're in the vault. Let whatever happens happen, and then that's another 100 shares I'm gonna put in, and that's how you generate more shares. That's how you do it for free. It's free. I don't care what you say, because I'm taking that premium and I'm buying some shares. And that's money that I'm locking away and using as collateral. And if they decide to put those shares to me, so be it. But instead of buying 300, I'll buy 400. Capiche? Anyways, knuckleheads, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Thank you for watching. I really like making these Sunday videos. I think hopefully I can make it a thing, and make another video, next Sunday. And kind of like a recap of the week maybe, and see what's gonna happen in the next week. Kind of give us some ideas. Kind of like what I see. The strikes that I would be looking at based on whatever the share prices at the moment, right? And give you guys, kind of an assessment on kind of where you'd be at. And so that's kind of it's kind of cool, because it helps me kind of research a bit for the coming week, and then I make my notes, and then I'm just reading off of my notes, and I'm talking to you guys, and then you guys make comments and questions, and I'm able to say what's up, to the crew too, and hopefully we'll keep growing, So if I can get some folks from the Hurricane channel, some from Uncle Bruce channel, if at some point we're 100, crazy cats, shooting the shit on a Sunday, that's great, because more people can kind of have a better idea on how we're gonna trade the next week, and kind of use the covered calls and cash secure puts I'm looking at as a benchmark. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You can look at one or two strike zones down, two strike zones up, and kind of be where you're comfortable. Because ultimately, it's your money, right? I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your money and how to invest. I'm just giving you a better idea on like how I'm investing, and given situations with the market, what I would do. And if anything, I can tell you, it's not just the market that you have to look at. This is why Uncle Bruce, I like him, because he sees what I see as far as like the geopolitics of things. It's not just the market that you have to look at. You have to look at what else is going on in the world, right? Look at what's going on with Ukraine, Israel, Iran. Look at this situation with the United States elections, right? We have the earthquake that happened in New York City. That, although not much happened, it still was an earthquake, and that kind of sent things off, especially in New York City, because that's where the stock market is, right? A lot of people tripped off of that, and that affected their trading. I'm sure that's affected the way that things went down on Friday. Anyhow, thank you for watching. I'm the Savage of Wall Street, baby. And I appreciate you guys watching. I will see you guys next week, man. Same bat channel at the same bat time, hopefully. And we'll catch up then. I will be probably making some comments in the UB channel tomorrow and the next week. So maybe the Hurricane would like to go live at some point, and I can come in and fucking and it coming the shit out of everything over there, because he's crazy just like me. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching, knuckleheads. Thank you. And if I could just see where we hit over here to just turn it off, that'd be great. Remember, cash is king, but credit is power, baby.